Here we have another donated video piece of art by a student who drew some trees, mountain, sky, maybe some clouds, some grass. Well, gonna fix. See, a challenge to me is, well, how do I retain the heart and soul of this artist's stamp on this canvas, and then still have a attractive piece of art made out of it. First thing I do is decide on where my lights and my darks will be, and do that by washing over with some white. And so see how rough it is, but that's necessary to keep you away from distractions and make sure your basic foundation structure of the picture is simple with only a few elements in it. Complexity is the death of a piece of art, in my mind. It's got even a very complex picture, detailed picture, is effective only if there's some simple underlying foundation or structure to the whole thing. So I've sort of got my sky, got some distant mountains or trees, and I'm going to see if I can scrub in some definition into the distance here, okay, with a little blue. Again, distance is gray. It becomes more saturated as you get closer, so I'm just scrubbing in some very grayish blue. And then I'm going to go a little closer. I'm going to scrub in some red. And then making it more or less what I think is an attractive line. Really only bends once, with a couple small bends in between there, varies in its thickness and sort of a pattern. I can put a few dabs outside, but keep it really limited. And keeping in mind this is going to be a landscape, I'm going to put in trees here. Now I'm just going to do this by stippling, and I'm going to, with a little green, which I really don't like green, but I'm going fast. Most of the time I like to do it with blue instead of green, and then I'll show you. So here's my blue trees, okay. I never clean out my brush. I just like the colors to mix with each other, because, hey, it's magic. I like that way things mix. Hey, and then I'm going to put a little yellow in over that. That way you get infinite variety of colors. It's like the TV monitor with 31 million colors. Well, there's only really red, blue, and green light being combined to form millions of colors. It just depends on the ratio. Now with pigments, which absorb light, opposite of a LCD screen which emits light, you're subtracting colors as you mix colors, you're not adding them. So we have red, yellow, and blue, more or less, are our primary colors, but you'll see, depending on the actual chemical composition of the pigment, it has different spectra, and the way they mix and the final color of light that is emitted will vary. And so parts of my lines I'm sort of blending out with this stippling, and all the time looking at how can I create something attractive, maintaining the original structure of this artist, or heart of the artist. I don't want to destroy. So there we go. I sort of, like you look at a cloud and say, oh, it looks like an elephant or a bear. I look at a bunch of blotches on a painting and I say, oh, looks like a hill, looks like a valley over here, looks like a path coming up. Maybe there's a river there where I can go up there. Maybe this is a lake down here. Maybe there's some trees down here. So sort of let my imagination carry me along. So I'm going to sort of, let's say this is a little lake down here. I'm going to a little bluish paint, some white. And I'm going to, always remember lakes aren't blue. They reflect the blue of the sky. And get there. Okay. I think I did a pretty good job. So, nothing complicated. The original picture wasn't complicated. I'm going to do outlines with a little bit of red and blue mixed together. And let's just sort of, and fluid with a lot of oil and a soft round brush. And I'm just going to put in, hey, you know, these irregular patterns remind me of rocks. So, hey, rocks are a challenge because, you know, a lot of artists, they end up looking like potatoes or a bunch of square boxes. Yeah, just like I'm doing. But the, you know, the sort of challenge is to vary them. Just have a couple big rocks, a few smaller ones. Don't overdo it. Make them irregular in shape, a little out of balance, and you have some attractive rocks. Here, I'm going to put some back here. I just because I wasn't sure what to do with these spots showing through here. Now, the definition as you get closer becomes more saturated with color, more defined. So I'm coming up. Now, some of this, to make it look like water, you first brush down, then back and forth. That's the ripples in the water. There we go. Practice just using the very, very tip of the brush. I'm going to brush down. I'm going to flip up. I'm going to create some curvy lines, some jiggly lines. That imitates vegetation, which incurs in bands across the landscape. Let's see if I got any black here. A little blackish blue color. Put in a few dots with balance, though not repeating itself, creating a rhythm. And enhance a few lines, and we could add on a few white highlights and it'd be perfect. So let's see.